The Reverse Mate is an easy-to-use practical system that assists you with reversing your RV, campervan or trailer into position safely and successfully. The system consists of two compact and lightweight, highly visible aluminium parking markers that come fit with a measuring tape for setup. They also feature LED lighting, handy for parking in the dark, and the white LED can even be used as a work light. The system is a world's first, with international patent pending, and is an essential accessory for all RVs, perfect for solo travellers and couples, guaranteed to save face and relationships. Here's a quick guide on how it works. Understand your dimensions. The typical width of an RV is up to 2.4 metres. However, this can vary depending on your model. Step 1. Measure your awning position. If you intend on using an awning or annex, you'll need to measure the distance from the back of your RV to the edge of your awning. Next, you'll need to calculate and mark your RV's pivot point and pivot distance. To do this, measure from the rear of your RV to the centre of your rear wheel. If your RV has two rear wheels, measure to the centre of both axles. Add this measurement to the width of your RV. This total is the pivot distance. Then, use the pivot distance to measure in from your rear axle or centre of both axles forward. This point is now your pivot point. Remember it by identifying something on your RV in close proximity or use some tape to mark it. We'll use this later when parking your RV. You can also jot down your measurements on the diagram in your Reverse Mate instruction manual for future reference. Step 2. Assess the area. Before parking, be sure to assess the area. Ensure there are no people or children in the parking area and clear any movable objects such as fallen branches. Take note of any immovable objects and surroundings such as other vehicles, low-hanging trees and power outlets. Be sure to remain aware of these when parking your RV. Step 3. Assemble the Reverse Mate markers. To assemble the Reverse Mate markers, tilt the indicator rod to be upright prior to twisting out the base plates to form a cross shape. Place Reverse Mate marker B, the rear marker, 300 mm away from the position you intend to park the back right of your RV. This position should allow for 100 mm between your annex area and RV wheels, 2.4 metres for the width of your RV and 300 mm for the base plate of the marker. This will allow you to be able to maintain sight of the Reverse Mate markers and park beside them. The flat base should be positioned parallel to the intended park position of the rear of the RV, while the angled base plate should be positioned parallel to the intended park position of the side of the RV. Note, if the tape measure does not extend in the correct direction, being parallel to the desired park position of the rear of the RV, check that you are using the correct Reverse Mate marker and have assembled and positioned it accurately. Once you know your RV measurements, you can easily step these directions out to speed up the process in the future. Position for your annex. If you intend on using an awning or annex, be sure to keep this in mind when positioning your marker. Feel free to rotate the marker and use the tape measure to ensure your annex will extend in the correct spot. However, remember to return the Reverse Mate marker to the correct position before parking. Next, place Reverse Mate marker A, the front marker, to be vertically in line with Reverse Mate marker B and separated by the pivot distance we measured earlier. This marker will act as a guide for your pivot point when reversing the RV or trailer. As a reminder, the pivot distance is the width of your RV plus the distance between the rear of your RV and the rear axle, or if dual axles, the centre of both wheels. Once you remember this distance, you can step this out to save having to use the tape measure every time. Step 4. Reverse your RV. If reversing at night, be sure to activate the Reverse Mate marker LED lights for additional visibility. When reversing your RV into the desired park, we recommend reversing in from the right of the driver's side. If this isn't an option, simply shift your markers to the other side. Then, reverse your RV towards the intended park position. Use the driver's right side mirror as your main reference point and aim to back the RV 300 mm away from the Reverse Mate markers. You can use the base plates as a guide for this. Once Reverse Mate marker A is in line with the rear wheel, turn the steering wheel of your vehicle to angle your RV towards Reverse Mate marker B. Once your pivot point passes reverse mate marker A, straighten the steering wheel of the vehicle and proceed to reverse the RV until the rear is in line with reverse mate marker B. You've now successfully parked your RV with reverse mate. It's that easy. Don't forget to deactivate your LED lights and pack away your reverse mate, ready for your next park.